So, hello and welcome. My name's Steve Nobel, and today I'm speaking with Liz Findlay on running a high frequency business. Now, Liz is a multifaceted healer for humans and animals. She's the only person I've trained in soul matrix healing, and Liz has adapted the healing process to integrate with her healing work, her animal healing work. She's created a business, an online store for energy infused clothing and merchandise for starseeds and light workers. Her website is lizfindlay.com, and this will go out with the recording. And this is where you can find her sessions and free meditations and more. And there's also her website, ascensionswag.com, which is an online store. So, hi, Liz.
Hi.
So, let me just begin with how did it all begin in terms of spiritual awakening with you? What happened?
It was quite a slow trickle, I guess you could say, drip feed for me from when I was quite little. I was very fortunate that I had a family member who was into all of this kind of stuff. And he would have discussions with me. And yeah, I do remember him saying to me, that, there's reincarnation and, a part of me kind of mind blown going, wow, but a part of me also like, yeah, that makes sense. It resonates.
Mm.
And I was very young when I really wanted to read Fingerprints of the Gods, but I was too young to understand it. And so he would talk me through some of the messages within Fingerprints of the Gods. And yeah, then as a teenager, he took me to a healer that he was seeing in Joburg. And yeah, it was a nice, comfortable, slow progression until, about 2017 when Dark Night of the Soul hit. I think it's rite of passage for all of us star seeds. And yeah, things got intense then.
Yeah. No, I met you sometime around that time. I think you just entered it. I think was it 2016 we met, wasn't it?
I hadn't entered it quite yet then. I was busy leaving the corporate world. And I reached out to a friend of mine saying, look, I need some kind of a spiritual mentor of some sorts, not just a counselor. Do you have anyone to recommend? And she said, well, I've never had a session with him, but I've heard really good things about Steve Nobel. So yeah, that's when I reached out to you on Facebook
Right, the
for a
old-fashioned
session.
way.
Yeah.
And in those days, I used to meet people in hotels, which I think freaked you out a little bit.
Totally. As soon as you said that we'd meet at this hotel, I messaged my friend saying something like, what the hell? What's he going to do with me in a hotel? Like, this sounds so dodgy. And so she advised me to get back in touch with you just for some clarity. Like, is it in a hotel room? And you did come back saying it's in the foyer. We'll sit and have tea. And again, I went back to her like, this is weird. I've never had a healing session like this before. And she said, don't worry, he's going to put like a force field bubble around you. It'll be fine. And it really was. There was a lady playing a harp there, and just everyone else disappeared. And it just felt like you and I and the harp music
Yeah, and the tea. The tea was
and
very
the
nice.
tea.
Yeah. So we began working slowly together, but how did that happen? Do you want to share?
I think you noticed that I was struggling because I then 2017 nosedived into Dark Night of the Soul, and I was coming to your talks in London. I think you were doing them back then roughly every 6 to 8 weeks. And so you needed some extra help with, ticking off names as people arrive and laying out yoga mats. And you asked if I wanted to volunteer. And so, yeah, that's when it first started. And then it was 2020. You offered me the Zoom login details for one of your webinars as a thank you for all the time I'd helped with laying out yoga mats and diligently ticking names off. And while I did really enjoy the webinar, my innate nature, there's something about me, I think you've picked it up in a profiling system, that I am always noticing where things can be leveled up.
Yeah.
I think this has frustrated you at times, but yeah, I noticed where you can level up your webinars. We had a chat and you said to me, I know you're my business manager.
I know.
And I was a bit taken aback with this, and I reminded you, I was like, I've got my own business. And yeah, so it was from then that you wanted us to collaborate more and more. That, since then we've run webinars together, we have hosted a number of retreats, many in Glastonbury, some workshops. And I also came to you with my idea for a kind of higher vibe version of business networking, and you were up for it. And so
Yeah.
we started that together in 2021, Starseed Business Networking. And so it continues.
I think that's had 4 years anniversary already, hasn't it?
I think it's coming up in May.
Or is it coming up in May? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so May 2025 is 4 years of Starseed Business Networking, and we will continue to keep them free.
Yeah, and that's a great resource for Starseed entrepreneurs. It is free and you can meet people. Anyway, yeah, check out our websites about that. So, before we dive into running a high frequency business, can I just ask you generally, why is it important to live a high vibrational life? Why is that important?
Oh, wow. I mean, this is multifaceted. I think one of the important things that you and I have learned at times the hard way is that, keeping your vibration high and having energetic protection and also grounding is just so important in general life. Like we'd love to be love and light, rainbows and unicorns about this whole thing and this whole spiritual journey. But the reality is there is interference out there, and you just get so much more in your flow and, on your highest vibrational timeline, if you can keep out these interferences or at least neutralize them as quick as possible, keep your vibration high. And, that's when the magic of flow and abundance and all of that comes into play. Um, but yeah, you and I learned the hard way that we just absolutely have to start the day with grounding and protecting, and end the day also with protection before the dream state. And yeah, this is what has really served us. Now, in terms of health, it's been my journey, I guess you could say, again, learned the hard way that, eating, I guess what you could call a high vibrational diet, but for me personally, it's foods that my body can digest easily. It's not just that I tolerate them, my body can actually thrive off them. So I've really had to, make radical changes to my diet to heal from 3 autoimmune diseases that I am symptom free ever since, what was that, April 2016. And that the first step, none of the energetic healing was really taking hold. The first step for me to actually make a difference and start properly healing from that was to radically change my diet and to also get toxins out of my food and my environment and even cosmetics. And I think this ties very much in with having a high frequency lifestyle is, all of these toxins that are around us, they affect our bodies. They also can bring our vibe down. And, we function so much better. We're able to channel so much better. We can do our amazing work out there, our life path, our soul mission, if we're feeling better within our bodies. And so, yeah, I definitely had to heal from all of those illnesses and ailments before I could fully embody this and start doing the soul mission properly.
So, not many people may realize they may accept it in our lifestyle, high vibrational life, but bringing a high vibration into the business, I don't know if everyone understands the importance of that. How do you do it?
Oh, well, actually, one of the ways that actually we both do, and I'd really like to draw people's attention to this because this is something we do behind the scenes that not many people get to see. So, for those of you listening, Steve and I, when we meet online for a Zoom meeting, it could be a Zoom event, Starseed Business Networking, anything like that, we always meet beforehand to cleanse and clear the Zoom space, to open it up, to energetically hold it. we do this with all of our events as well, like the Glastonbury retreat, all of our workshops. And that is important in order to have the high vibrational energies there for the duration of whatever event it is, and to keep out the lower vibrational energies and the interference. We do need to start with cleansing the space, whether it's online or physical, and then introducing energetic protection. And that's for each of us, the space and the group.
So what gave you the idea of, let's shift in, you've got this business, this Ascension Swag business. Great name, isn't it? Ascension Swag.
Cute.
So what kind of inspired you at the beginning to do the work in the way you do it?
Well, it is a bit of a journey. I never really thought of myself as an artist, but I now see that I was incredibly privileged to be doing art at least once a week at school, right from, when you're little all the way through high school. And one of my mom's friends in South Africa is an artist, and she was running weekly classes, not in the school, you have to go privately. And my mom enrolled me for that. And I mean, I did the most fantastic things with her. We did so much. It wasn't just like painting. I mean, yes, we worked with acrylic paints and oil paints, but we did wire sculptures with beads. We did paper marbling. We made elephants out of, I think, palm tree bark, and, just so creative. And I can see now how that really nurtured the creativity inside me. And I then went on to do a degree that I thought I'd never use. It was in brands communication, specializing in art direction. And yeah, seems to have been worthwhile in the end, because I do understand some of these, digital software things, to create art, digital art. But I'd say with Ascension Swag, it's a series of synchronicities that I just love looking back. And I think this is the beauty of a lot of us starseeds and light workers with businesses. You can look back, and when the dots join, you know it's all been right all along. You were on the right path. And one of the dots there was at one of our Glastonbury retreats. Lovely Holly from New Mexico kept coming to me and whispering, if you guys had t-shirts here, I'd buy one. And so I spoke to you about it, and you and I were both like, interesting idea, but like, we don't want a garage full of t-shirts, and how are we going to do this? And we vaguely investigated, but left it on the back burner. And then I think it was 2024 on another Glastonbury retreat, seems to be Glastonbury in there. It was one of our exercises that it's one of the ones that you and I actually join in with as well, where we have to walk around the room and we have a brief chat with all the different people that we kind of bump into. And this particular one, we had to share with our partner one thing that we're wanting to manifest or have more of in our lives. And the idea is you can say the exact same one to everyone you meet up with. You can swap it out. You can use a new one with the next person. You can draw inspiration from whatever somebody's just said to you. And I love that I said the right thing to the right person, because my partner was Dear Fox, who's become a friend. And when I met up with him and I said, I want to have more tactile creativity in my life. And he said, well, I happen to run screen printing workshops in Brighton, where we were living at the time. And he said, I'd like to offer you and Steve a free workshop. It's like, yes, it just felt so right. And so we got some t-shirts, we went, and I put a reel up on Instagram. We did a collaboration, and we had loads of people between us saying, are these for sale? Are these for sale? That again, it was like, oh, wow, this could be a thing. People clearly want it. And so, yeah, that's where the idea sparked. And I knew that it was not meant to just be designs on t-shirts, for example. I knew there needed to be another element. And I wasn't very happy with the clothing that I was seeing out there. Like whenever I typed into any kind of search engine, starseed clothing or starseed t-shirt, I wasn't you know, you kind of wait for something in your heart, like you want something to spark and that, like, ooh, I like that. You know, there was no resonance there. And so I thought, well, there's the gap in the market. And I think what's key for starseeds and light workers is we are so sensitive to energy, is in make them energy infused. And the idea that I got for this could be seen as a little controversial, but I think it is magic. And you had asked me to mention it, is that you and I were doing some deep diving down the rabbit hole, like many of us did when the world went mad. And one of the videos that you and I watched, if you remember, it was on the music industry. And I mean, this kind of blew our minds. I mean, it makes sense now, but they were explaining how dark forces on this planet have been taking some pop songs, not all, but some of them, and doing a ritual that is quite dark on that, on the master copy of that song. And then from there, all of the really dark vibes are infused in that. So any copy made from that master file that goes out on any kind of platform or even radio, those energies are infused within that. And I think both you and I were like, you know, a few swear words of like, oh my gosh, like how can they be doing that? But then straight away I realized, you know, there is duality on this planet. And, you know, where there is dark, there's also light. When there is a dark version of something, there's a light version of something. And I do believe that potentially there was a light version of this that the dark drew inspiration from. They inverted it because they are known for inverting things. There are many light systems on this planet that are here to help us and guide us and support us, that the dark invert to then start siphoning our energy instead. So I drew inspiration from the dark, and I'm like, well, if they can do that to the master files of, you know, I'm sure it's many things, but there's the music industry. I can do a light version of that with the master files of my designs, so that any copy that I make and, you know, sell it on the store has the light energies infused within it. And so, yeah, there's my inspiration.
Amazing. Now, before I get onto some of the designs, because I really want to speak about that, I want just to say, I'm going to embarrass you now, that you have a flair, artistic flair that combines with a great precision. And you've
Yeah.
done some training. And I remember going to Ireland and you did this training. We both did it, actually. I got pulled in and I enjoyed it. And you also went to Emerson College, which is this very lovely place in England, to do this. I think was it mandala drawing or something? I would say
Sacred geometry.
sacred geometry. So your work combines a lot of this kind of sacred geometry and your artistic flair. So let me ask you a little bit. Oh, and Fox Fisher can be found on Instagram. If you search, I think it's Fox Fisher, isn't it?
Yeah,
Instagram.
Fox Fisher. And also, I think it's limited edition Fox as his art.
Yeah. So we love Fox.
Yeah,
So
we
let's
love
get.
Fox.
Hey, Fox. We want to get into some of the designs now. Let's talk me through some of these designs. And I know I've got one here, and I've got one of the little swag bags, so I can show. So which one are we doing first?
Well, do you want to stand up and we see yours first? Okay, so that is the Flower of Life design that I got guided to create. And I'd specifically say I got guided to create this because I fully acknowledge that I'm not the sole creator of these designs. There is, you could say, a team in spirit behind Ascension Swag that are guiding me. And I kind of just feel like the human team member, if that makes any sense. And so this one, the Flower of Life, is specific to helping whoever uses it to live more in harmony with all life. It is also a symbol to help dissipate lower vibrational energies and balance energies. And I mean, the purple element is quite obvious in there. And so I intentionally infused ultraviolet fire and the violet flame into that design because those are great energies to further help dissipate lower vibrational energies. And yeah, that one is a personal favorite. I do love that one. I mean, with each of the designs, you'll see on the website, there is a write-up of even more than what I'm saying now, with a brief story behind the design and the energetics infused within it. And so I'll show you the one that I'm wearing, which is called Galaxy Metatron's Cube. As you can see, it is very, very pink. And I know most people think that purple is my favorite color. It's actually pink. I just couldn't bring myself to do an entirely pink business. It felt, I don't know, just not quite aligned with what this business needed to be. But yeah, this design, Galaxy Metatron's Cube, was 100% for me. And then I had other people who were really drawn to it. So I thought, hey, it's not just me who loves this. Incidentally, for everyone listening, Steve initially said, no, he doesn't want to wear that. It's too pink. He has now asked me to order him one. So watch the space. He's going to be wearing it. So this one is to help those who use it to align with their highest vibrational timeline. And what I've been noticing in some of my client sessions is when I am checking for timelines that people are connected to, and our chakras can be connected to timelines. And so, for example, some of their chakras would be connected to lower vibrational timelines, while others connected to higher vibrational timelines, or you can even have one chakra that is connected to both higher and lower vibrational timelines. And then it's a process of getting all of them connected to just the highest. So, you might even think, right, this chakra is connected to a higher vibrational timeline, but is it the highest? And you can even get a chakra connected to two higher vibrational timelines. But again, which one is the highest vibration? And so that's what this design is mostly about, connecting with the highest vibrational timeline. And for those of you who do have a business, I have got a free meditation on my YouTube channel. It is also on SoundCloud and Insight Timer. But on my YouTube channel, if you type in the Entrepreneur's Meditation, Steve will pop the link below in the description. That meditation is to help you get your business on its highest vibrational timeline. And so those of you who've already bought a bit of swag, if you do have the Metatron's Cube, you might even want to wear the t-shirt or hold the tote bag or something while you listen to the meditation, and then it can be two tools that integrate together.
Brilliant. And there's a third design, isn't there? And I've got one here as a bag. Do you want to say something about this one?
Well, the handle's just in front of it. Do you want to move the handle?
Sorry. Yeah, let's get rid of that.
There we go. So that's the tote bag. And so that is the seed of life on that one. And this is also a protection symbol. And it was really interesting because within my cleansing, clearing, upgrading, infusing of energy process, little ritual that I do with all the designs, I was very surprised with this one, that while I was working with it, there was just such a strong sense of Archangel Michael literally within the design. And I mean, I did intentionally infuse it with electric blue fire of protection. But yeah, that strong sense of Archangel Michael. And initially, I didn't know that it was a symbol of protection. And it was only afterwards when I started Googling and because I was trying to understand this strong presence of Archangel Michael. And then I came across some information that it is used for protection. And this also beautifully ties in with what you and I do to intentionally start our days with and end our days with, and that is with grounding and protecting. And so I have two free tracks, again, YouTube, SoundCloud, Insight Timer, and they're both under 15 minutes long, so very quick to start the day and one to end the day. So the morning one is Highlight Decree, Invoking Energetic Protection. And then the nighttime one is Highlight Decree, Dream State Protection. And again, Steve will pop the link in the description below. But yeah, I've just found it really, really vital to start the day that way. And then when you use the tote bag or wear a t-shirt or sweatshirt or something, it can help amplify what you're already doing. All of these are tools that are meant for you and your energy systems to use and work with. It's not just like a magic wand. So I'm all for everyone kind of taking responsibility for their own well-being, their own energetic protection and all of that. And so I just put it out there that with those 2 tracks, you are more than welcome to draw on them for inspiration and tweak them in any way that you want. If there's a part of it that doesn't resonate, put it to one side. You don't need it. If there's one part that really resonates, and then you want to combine it with something from Steve's tracks, do that. Find your own version that works for you in that moment of time, and then let it evolve. I mean, I do a slightly different process to either of those tracks now, and it's constantly evolving as I draw inspiration from everything around me, through my own meditations, through courses that I attend, through videos that I watch, and just like I said, I'm always on the lookout for leveling up.
Great. Now, Liz, I know you're going to do an exercise, an energetic exercise involving one of the symbols. Do you want one of the designs? Do you want to share something about that?
Yeah, so I thought that we could do an exercise now linked to the Flower of Life design. So it's the one that Steve's wearing. So in a moment, Steve will actually put the image on the screen for you to look at. But I wanted to start the process off with explaining a technique that I learned on my Reiki Master Teacher training some years ago. Now, what it is we have a central column right the way through our being that helps hold the aura in place. And so when this is out of alignment, we can feel out of sorts. It can also affect our natural energetic protection and potentially our grounding as well. And I got taught ways where I can check it with a pendulum, where is it out of alignment? And I can also kind of in my third eye, mind's eye, sometimes see it. And then double check with the pendulum, and from there work on realigning it. So again, a tool where you don't necessarily have to book in a practitioner if this is enough, is you can do a quick realignment yourself, and it is a quick motion. I do just need to move away from my microphone and stand up and show you. But the idea is that if it's kind of out of alignment, you're pulling it back into alignment. And so let me stand up. So it's that quick twisting of the hands that helps to snap it back into place. And you can even bring breathing in with that. And then I just do a bit of an out breath with that. And yeah, that's really helped me and some of my clients just get that energetic flow back in alignment. So now if you want to have a look at the image that Steve is placing on the screen right now, and maybe take a few breaths as you have a look. And just breathing. And for those of you who want to keep your eyes open looking at the image, that is absolutely fine. If you prefer to close your eyes for the next bit, you are more than welcome to. And so finding what's comfortable, and then calling on ultraviolet fire and the violet flame, or either or, depending on what energy you usually work with. Both of these are incredibly cleansing energies. So invoke this energy within and around you to cleanse, clear, and release all that does not serve you from your energy fields, and all that doesn't belong to you, and especially all lower vibrational energy, sending it back to source. And just breathing as this ultraviolet fire or the violet flame is doing its work within and around your energy fields. And then taking a deep breath, and on the out breath, visualize cords of light from the soles of your feet that are surrounded in gold light, sending them through your floor, through the earth's crust, and deep into the center of the earth, where you find the crystalline core. And this is the fifth dimensional grid of the earth. And so begin to anchor your cords of light into this crystalline core in whatever way resonates with you. And this could be literally visualizing an anchor. You might want to tie them off in a bow or a knot. Perhaps even completely wrap them round the crystalline core. And then on your next in-breath, begin to drink up some of this crystalline energy, bringing it through the earth's crust, through your floor, and in through the soles of your feet, where you allow it to circulate throughout your whole body to keep you grounded, centered, and present for the rest of today. And then just take a moment to fill your energy fields with gold light. You might want to call on gold light from the great central sun to fill your energy fields with a golden, crystal clear and diamond strong layer around the entire outside that only the highest vibrational energy can penetrate. And we will do one more thing with this exercise, and that is call on your higher selves to correct spin all of your chakras, and they will know the optimum direction that is specific to you for each chakra to spin in. And just taking a deep breath with that. And we briefly give thanks to the energies and beings of light, our higher selves, for helping and assisting with this process.